I have felt the matchmaker has been recovering from such an incredible influx of players since the latest update, and I feel the strange quality of matchmaking from the past couple days is partially reflected in this match here, where today we are back on my number one. Vyper, of course. I've been kind of screwing around, playing a lot with the party, learning the new characters. It's been a lot of fun, but now I kind of want to start locking in, see how far I can push my rank, with my focus on improving my Vyper gameplay. See, I got a bunch of chumps complaining that I'm not that good because I'm not Ascendant rank. I'm also a chronic liar, but I would really like to hit that rank, and I am very close, even though it really doesn't mean anything. So maybe expect some Vyper rank grinding around here, I guess. Dynamo Viscous lane isn't too much to worry about. Infernus is kind of excessively mediocre right now, and since they're going to be relying on their poke and tankiness to play this lane, a pretty uneventful laning phase is to be expected. As for the most part, my dagger poke is going to be out-healed and out-tanked. I get close here with Dynamo, but I was never able to finish him off. They played so far back and safe, so it was just a lot of trying to hold as much pressure in lane as possible until we can hope for either a mistake to capitalize on or look for gank opportunities. Right now, if you look to your left, you might see the main culprit for frustration in this game, dying very early in this game with complaints, and he definitely has some stuff to say later. This lane ends up having just a lot of doing stuff to not much effect from both sides. I don't feel Infernus has the damage output to maintain the poke with me, and like I said, the opponent's playstyle is very safe, so I just gotta farm waves, poke when I can in hopes maybe something will happen, and evidently it kind of doesn't. I've decided to move on from my previous build of choice. It's just a bit too outdated at this point, but finding a good build that matched that flow was tricky, and I didn't feel like building my own, so I settled on this one here, and with a few adjustments to item choices and orders in a way that I'm happy with, I am pretty satisfied with this build. And I'll include the ID for the original build, but I probably won't upload my edit out of respect to the original creator. Anyways, this lane ended up being quite the drag, especially when so many kills and deaths are occurring around us, but I'll happily maintain a humble lane lead for later. Don't really have much opportunity to go for ganks yet. I found it funny when Rem completely abandoned Beginnis at a bad time to do Sinners that got her overwhelmed. But we'll cut to the interesting stuff now, as there are 23 deaths in this lobby, unrelated to our lane, and it's going to take a lot of effort because I am actually behind for some reason, because of how much chaos happened in the other lanes. We finally get action in the lane when the others decide laning is over at 11 minutes. When Drifter, Mo and Krill, Haze, and Silver decide it's time for a CW crossover episode. I get my first pick of the game on Viscous, and just like a CW crossover episode, Drifter and Mo end up in a terrible position behind the Guardian, diving the Walker for literally no reason. And the Mo and Krill died, the Flash is crying, Drifter is dead, now Silver is fed. I walk away happy with my kill and a free yellow lane to farm while Abrams pushes all those minions straight into me. I figured it's another easy kill opportunity when Mo and Krill showed up. Abrams went for a dunk in the low roof housing for some reason, which let me turn him into a rock for us to follow up on, and that follow up included a totally necessary combo from Mo. But kill's a kill. Dynamo showed up and I let the feral animals go at him, while I stayed back and watched so I could get straight back into farming afterwards. A full 6v4 teamfight breaks out mid lane without any pressure, and it is ended with them not even close to getting a single pick before I could even punish the 6 guys stacking mid. So off to farming more neutrals instead, as the lead I have to climb into is just getting harder and harder with the sick macro skills of this team. It's okay though. The Arc Mother gives her toughest battles to her strongest soldier. Another fight breaks out in the middle of nowhere over literally nothing. I am not fighting that. It's not worth it. Going to fight because they are low is a scam invented by insurance companies. And oh look, I'm just picking up waves and it's a low dynamo. I'm going to fight that. That's another deposit in my Vyper carry investment account. Another fight breaks out over our yellow walker, but this time it's an actual fight worth taking. And since my team is stacking hard over it this time, they're able to get picks with a healthy walker. How about that? Green has been left unattended for the last 10 minutes, so I've just been raking in the solo waves and neutrals in the area, and a fresh one was brought in by Dynamo yet again. I feel I find myself in this situation a lot. Link in the left side lane push. Have you noticed that? Anyways, Dynamo left himself open for another free pick with all those waves to pick up, and I'm officially just shy of matching their fed silver, while being quite a bit ahead of my own team, just from pacing myself, picking up waves, neutrals, and a modest amount of kills without dying. See how easy it is? Even though there's people around mid, there's no need to fight, and that positioning gave me the opportunity to defend a hard push on Yellow Walker. That ends with me melting Haze's health bar like those old 2017 hot knife satisfying videos. I get sent to the Baroness, but we have a huge number advantage, including myself for the enemy's follow-up, but they scatter before we could kill, and now some other chumps are pushing up mid without paying attention to the rotation that is happening.
I need that kill, bro.
No bro, you do not need the kills, you are so behind. You already aren't making use of the menu you have. And with that, Drifter makes the goofy call of taking mid boss before 20 minutes. Horrific throw call. We don't have the damage to take it efficiently, especially since our main damage dealer, does not want to do it. Because even though we have picks, respawns are less than 20 seconds, side lanes need to be tended to, but they run it even though I said I don't want to do it, and it's clear I am not in the area. Of course, it takes them over a minute to try and take it, and the team had taken a lot of damage from the boss, giving an easy punish from the enemy. I toy with the idea of doing something, but it's too late, and not worth the feed. So I rather save my life and go defend instead of continue my grind. But luckily, since it's still an early mid boss, it's not too problematic for us. We lose walkers, but they don't have too much pressure from respawn timers yet. I'd love to play a more proactive playstyle here, but because of my team's mistakes, the team's soul differential is pretty lopsided again, and I have to be beyond simply tying most souls in the lobby to carry here. Non-feeder teammates are doing a good job here, putting pressure on other lanes instead of full stacking, and I figure we can try and fight this defense, since they also aren't full stacking for this green. We got caught out by the Dynamo ult, but thankfully they couldn't do enough damage in time before I was able to bolo that entire engagement for us to disengage from. Couldn't do much about the walker push after that though, unfortunately. Drifter and Infernus weren't able to fully retreat, but Abrams overextended hard to get the Drifter kill, and I knew he'd go after me if I showed. But Abrams is easy to kite in open space, and I was able to melt him with Rem, getting us at least one token off of them. The enemy kept pushing for some reason, funneling wave after wave into us while they tried to look for more picks. The Rem ult forced Viscous way out of position, giving me another easy rejuve token. Then Hayes decided she wanted more smoke, even though most of her team was gone. And Viscous, not having any cooldowns, made for an easy chase down when he decided to try and save Hayes. With that, and at this point, I have a good lead on the lobby, other than Silver, who I haven't really seen all game. Certain members of the team are still wildly behind and are also whining about not getting kills, but paying attention to the shot calling and the complaints from the guy with the least souls in the game is a good way to lose. I just keep doing my thing, farm, catch waves, look for engagements I'm confident in. The team ended up hard stacking mid, but since we had the jump on the numbers advantage and no other walkers to defend at this point, I figured it was a good time to force this walker, as the crew picked up 2 big kills on their team fight deniers. I get the walker after almost getting pummeled by the football player, and after, I disengaged to look for isolated enemies, which the Haze attempting a flank on Infernus made for a perfect target.
Like, I have 40 stacks and fucking 14 assists. If this game's over, if I get, like, let half those become fucking full things.
No bro, this game is over because we are carrying your ass. The engagement continued, and we had the advantage since I was still up. So I grabbed the Abrams pick, Viscous pulled Silver to safety, and I grabbed the donation to the Eastern Indigo Snake Project, while I can pull away to catch the big wave on yellow and cash in a lot of souls. After being able to finally take a breather for a minute, the fighting continued mid once again with Abrams hard overextending, again. But with Dynamo in the area, I figured I'd just stay back and wait for... And with that taken care of, we had the easy opening to go in and flush these guys out. With their cash cow and Dynamo taken care of, while we had pressure on green from McGinnis and myself in the area, we had an actually good opportunity to take the mid boss. No problem at all, Doorman ended up going down the stairway of infinite slide, and I was able to slide straight through him. I was discombobulated and thought I was on the other side of the map when the football player showed up while walking back to his base, but I had some crew behind me and we were able to take care of him. After that, I really wanted that last walker, with Urn being ran and McGinnis also pushing for it. That made for an easy opportunity there. We were able to quickly plow through it when Hayes showed up for the biggest ult of her life, but she weirdly turned into a rock and then died. Strange. Our job was done there, and it's time to walk away. A very underrated aspect of holding rejuve tokens, as Drifter dies while fighting solo in their base, is having pressure on the entire map. There's a lot of neutrals on the map, and all we have to do is push the lanes in and take everything. With that, we can really start snowballing a lead before we do eventually start fighting with a stronger and safer advantage. So then, even though the team ended up fighting mid, they were fighting even numbers, so I was confident in their advantage. I wanted to catch the green wave, then follow up Drifter in case he started fighting, since 2 split to take him out. He ended up chasing farther than I can catch up though before dying. So instead it was time to follow up our mid push since the crew were doing good there and Silver and Abrams were going to be making their way over. I made it just in time to catch out Abrams before he could pull off any flank shenanigans, and I held him here while the guys went for the shrine. Barely missing the kill to the hotel guy, who apologizes by carting me away to safety with my wave, allowing us to clear out these base guardians. Rejuves were used up and we were losing numbers, so I went back to help extract Mo and finish my kill on Abrams, who provided another donation for the snakes. And with that, I needed to go shopping again and get a bit of farm while I waited for a team respawns and the next thing to happen. That next thing would be a super risky earn run that almost got the team wiped before I showed up and was able to flush the aggressors out and finish securing earn for ourselves. Just in time too for the next rejuve spawn. Doorman went all in on getting Rem while we did that, so I decided to save my friend, as nobody else was really in a position to contest the team doing rejuve until I could return. Abrams does end up showing up by the time I make it over. He gets smoked. Dynamo walks in way too late to do whatever he was planning, and actually gets some good damage on me with reflected damage of my own, while trying to escape through the stairway of infinite sliding. With all that, it's time to finish off the game. I have a huge soul lead, and the team is following behind. Except for Drifter. He is still wildly behind at this point. But it's okay, if he gets the kills, he will carry, and this game is free. Anyways, here's my one and only technical death when I somehow miss my bola on the Hazelt, and get smoked by the Patron Curse on top of it. We get Patron phase, and all that's left is to clear defenders and wrap it up. I get sent to the hotel again, so I have no idea what's going on out there. But I get out, and Rem ult made for some easy picking. I barely am missed by the Dynamo ult and was able to take care of that and Viscous before being mauled by a rabid animal that Rem saved me from. But on my re-engage, I got walled off by McGinnis, giving me no exit, so I get smoked by the Patron Curse again. But it doesn't matter, because we were able to finish off the game right then and there, completing my comeback carry.